What's causing this mass exodus of money?
And please tell us how to get ours out.
Well, what we're looking at here on the screen is the past 18 years of Internal Revenue Service data that tracks all adjusted gross income. And it shows, for example, in Manhattan or in the Empire State as a whole, that a New York minute now costs $7,100. They're generally moving from the Northeast to places like Florida. And, of course, Florida is one of 9 states that puts a zero price on work at the state level. No personal income tax. So you're talking about in this economy an opportunity to save anywhere from 6 to maybe 13% on your income.
So, in other words, you're telling us that because of taxes, people are moving out of certain areas and going to other areas because they have fewer penalties in the way of taxes.
That's right, and it's not just north to south for the sun or for retirement effect. Your home state of New Hampshire.
Ah, he knows where I'm from, yeah.
Live free or die. No personal income tax gaining in our analysis.
No sales tax either, by the way.
Right, and still doing very well with their state budget and their economy.
It seems so American. Doesn't it? It seems so American. What went wrong with the other 41 states?
So, but what's happened? Well, I mean, are people moving into New Hampshire? I see the green arrows coming up from Massachusetts.
Yeah, what we're seeing there, the red states are contributing to New Hampshire. The green states are the few places where a New Hampshire resident would prefer to go other than their home state. But when we look at places like Texas, the entire country goes from green to red. All of these red states are contributing their income, their jobs over the past 18 years into the state of Texas, which we know has done incredible.
Yeah, the economy there, right?
Has been doing great with energy, and again, there's a tax incentive to be there. What about Nevada? I mean, California.
Yeah.
Next door.
When we look at another no-income tax state right next door to California, which in our analysis was losing $45 billion, big losses there, at previously 10.3% price on work, now 13.3% for Silicon Valley and entrepreneurs. It's really easy to go right next door to Clark County, Nevada, or Reno, Nevada, and escape and lower your price on work.
You know, there's something bigger at stake here, too, because if you have more money going to another state, it's better news for the overall economy and for job growth. Are we actually seeing corporations relocate as well?
That's exactly what we're seeing, not only for a lot of folks know about the corporate moves, Fortune 500 moves into Texas, but as we mentioned, Florida is attracting not only individuals, folks looking for retirement, but major corporations. Just recently, news from Hertz Rent-A-Car, as a matter of fact, consolidating operations out of Oklahoma and New Jersey for Fort Myers, Florida, Lee County.
So, a lot at stake, a lot of jobs potentially at stake. I'm curious about New York because we do have a new mayor now. He's talked about raising the top income tax rate from 3.876 to 4.41.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing is, because I think about this all the time as well, but I can't get out of New York. I you know, have to be here for my job. And when the new mayor was elected, I thought, could we see an exodus of capital? Where else can they go? I mean, a couple firms have moved to New Jersey, but and they have high taxes there as well. Otherwise, there's nowhere else to go.
Well, that's right. You know, many people have been in New York City because of the gain on trade in unique services such as media or financial services. But we're seeing across not only the country but across the world that financial service firms, hedge funds can operate sometimes out of Puerto Rico and globally if the advantages are distinct and notable enough.
I mean, so it's not just, I mean, that's taxes, it's also regulation. I mean, with some hedge funds choosing to relocate offshore.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the big takeaway here for us, Travis? What do we need to keep in mind?
Well, we know as a group the 9 states that do not put a price on work at the state level are collectively adding $164 billion over the previous 18 years. And the reverse is also true, that the 9 states, like New York, with the highest burden on income, are losing over nearly $150 billion. So the stakes are large. We want folks to know where's a smart place to work, where's a smart place to grow, where's a smart place
all that said, I mean, what about, I mean, you have to pay for services in any of these places, right?
That's right.
You know, and if you don't have the income tax, how can you guarantee the better education system? How can you guarantee better services? Where does the money come from?
The money comes from growth in the private sector. That's why it may be a surprise to some to think there are more educators in Texas per 10,000 residents than there are in California. That's why states like Washington State, with a very different climate, are showing growth of over $12 billion. They're growing state and local government receipts for essential services as well. You don't have to sacrifice that in order to do all those essential things.
Right. So if you were advising Governor Cuomo, if you were advising Mayor-elect de Blasio, we would say to them,
you want to make sure that capital is welcome in New York to stay or welcome to grow and come here. And some of the policies are going to be real challenging if you're going to try to raise taxes on the price of work or those upper incomes. It's going to be a challenge.
Interesting income migration data. And you are the author of How Money Walks.